Hello everyone, nice to see you again. This is me, Jurgita, and we are on the channel 2.5 where we talk about knitting. I live in Norway and we have a wonderful sunny Sunday and you can see real sun outside. So I'm going to film this and go for a long walk. First of all, have a look at the sweater that I finished. As you can see, it has some positive ease, but it's not oversized. It's not cropped. Sleeves with, well, not tight, but it doesn't have any positive ease. And the raglan line goes straight from this one. Everything is the way I wanted. And this week I will try to film a very short explanatory tutorial. It's not a tutorial. I will explain how I knitted it, and I will explain how to knit if you're a different size than I am. For example, I am size SM. So if you are bigger than I am, I will give some tips how you can knit for yourself, okay? And now let's talk about today's video. And I'm going to show you several things. First of all, I will show you the sweater that I fixed. I haven't worn it a single time because I didn't like the neckline. And it was such a shame that I can't wear it. And I thought, oh, give yourself some time, maybe you will start liking it. Never happens, you know this. If you see something is wrong, it irritates you. And I fixed it. So you will see this. Then you will see my shawl, how I was working on it, the blue one. Remember, I bought the retro pattern. I forgot to include the link for this pattern, so I will include in this link. Then I will show you what happened with my white raglan line sweater. Don't worry, it will be ready. I just have to rip a bit back. And then I will show you where I was. And I went to a very nice event and I have some footage from there. And then we will talk about planning your knits for future. I have some questions for you guys. And I have some acquisitions. Let's get started. So the first is the fixed sweater. Do you remember the sweater I was knitting? And remember I showed you how to pick up stitches beautifully and some different ways how to do it. Everything is here. Everything was done according to the rules, let's say. But I made this hemline a bit too wide and I didn't like the proportion of the neckline and this mock line. So what I did, I unraveled it and have changed. Let's look at the video that I filmed while I was doing that, and then you will see it on me. Do you remember the sweater I knitted? The one that I used 2 strands of mohair and when I showed you how I made the neckline. Everything is done here correctly according to the rules. But I haven't worn it yet because I don't like it. I find this part too wide and somehow too big, too brutal, too rough for the neckline. and I want to change it. And you see, can you see the stitches got loose here? And it's also not nice. I know I was struggling, I didn't know how to fix it. That's why I don't like knitting bottom up, because then you have trouble with your necklines. I don't know if I will make it better, but at least I will give it a try, because now I know I won't be wearing it. So this is how it looks now, and I think it looks much better. I just have to hide some ends. What I did with a crochet hook, I went again and made a line, but this time my stitches were much smaller, and I simply picked the first stitch that is closer to me, because there are two legs of a stitch, so I picked the first one and I knitted one purl. However, after knitting the neck, it also became like loose, and because I went a bit away from the very edge of the sweater, I had some fabric of the sweater. I can't show you, it's very horrible here. So I had some fabric here. So what I did, I folded it over, and with the mohair, I sewed it to the fabric, making it more sturdy and not so stretchy, so it could hold the weight of the sweater and it would not like stretch out again. I made the same on both sides. I'm not happy with the inside of this, and I don't know how to fix it. So I will leave it as it is, and I will try not to look at it. So here you can see it on me. It's wide. Can you see how much positive ease it has? That's a lot. It's loose, it's cozy, it's airy. I used one strand of superwash something. I just know that it's 175 meters and 50 grams, and 2 strands of mohair. Now I like everything. It looks minimalistic, aesthetic, clean line, beautiful. What do you think? And now let's talk about the scarf I was knitting. I have some footage of my doubts and attempts to knit it. Let's watch this and I will show you the outcome. I want to show you how much progress I made on my shawl. So this is here, unraveled piece. I really liked the derecho shawl, and I'm thinking I will knit it one day, but I will not use garter stitch, I will use stockinette. And when I look at this design, I see it in stockinette. When I finish a garment, I usually have a ball or a ball and a half, or sometimes 2 balls left. It's too much to throw out, but it's too little to knit something serious. And this shawl, if you stripe it and you have 2 or 3 balls, you can use them. It's just enough. And it gives you the option to alternate the size. So I want to show you how far I am in my Sophie shawl. I'm not knitting the traditional Sophie shawl, because I'm making more rapid increases, so I get it wider. So it's like this. I weighed like 12 times, making sure that I knit 50 grams and I have 50 grams for decreases. This is what happened. However, I still have so many stitches left. And so much yarn left. I will use the yarn from here, but it's still very little. And I don't know what went wrong. However, I'm not going to unravel, and I started thinking, how can I do that? The first idea was to find similar yarn, similar color, and knit like 2 rows of bumps in this original color and 2 in this. But then you will see that you run out of yarn and you are trying to find something just to compensate it, to replace it. So I said, no. Then I said, what about if I take white yarn and keep striping until I run out of blue and finish the tip with white? That's an option, I think. Or have this wonderful neon pink. And I was thinking, what if I keep striping with this? And when you put your shawl on your neck, so if this end is in front, so it would be like a bright accent. If it's like tucked closer to the neck, it also like looks very fresh and nice and cool. The only problem is it looks, so it's, if I put 2 strands together, it's around 200 meters. And this is 200 meters. However, when I put them together, this blue one looks a bit thicker. But I like it so much with this. So I think I'll knit a bit and see what happens. Here is my shawl. This is the middle. And this is the end. Though I was weighing very carefully, I tell you maybe 12 times how much yarn I have left, and I had 100 grams. So when I came to 50, I stopped and started making decreases. And I don't know what happened, but I saw that I was running out of yarn. So I striped it like this. I finished it yesterday and I haven't washed it, but let me put it on. What do you think? I think it looks very nice. You can make this pop up more if you need some color, or if you can hide it at all if you don't want to. Finished shawl, I'm very happy with it. And it has some bright elements. And it's bright itself. What I used for the pink one, at first I used Coop's yarn Yay, that's sock base. I have this neon pink, but it was too thin, and then in my stash I found the same yarn with a strand of mohair added, and I used up, so I have this much left. And you know, an idea came to me that I have this much pink yarn left. I have to weigh, of course. I haven't done it yet, but if I knit 2 fingerless mitts, like short ones, to go with this scarf, just on days when I need something bright. They are really neon pink balls. I think that would be cool. They would be thin, short, just for cold spring mornings, when you know that soon it will be warm, but just when you go to work and it's a bit chilly. I'm thinking about it. Oh, it's getting warm. The third project I want to talk about is my white raglan sweater. I also have some footage on how I was working on it. So let's watch it, and then I will show you what I have now at the moment. I'm so much into animal print, you can see here and here, and I'm thinking of knitting a sweater with sleeves in animal print. But I will talk about it next time. I think I'm okay now with my yoke, and now I have to separate the sleeves from the body and knit in the round. My question was, should I go with these lines? So these are the raglan lines. Should I continue making them knitting straight and they run along the body on the sides, like 2 lines on one side and 2 lines on the other side? Or should I stop making them, knit it flat and stockinette, and make the same element at the bottom diagonal when it was in the original pattern? Both options are very nice, both. And at first I decided I will go with these lines running down to the bottom. But then I slept with this idea and decided to keep to the original photo that I saw, and we'll do the element closer to the bottom, the same element. I was pretty sure that I can do regular increases because I left just a small amount of stitches for the sleeves. So I thought if I go with regular increases, that is much easier, as we all know, than the irregular. I will get the sleeve width that I want. And yesterday, when I was binding off the stitches, I saw that something is wrong and it's too wide. I haven't tried it on. Well, I will not try it on. I'll just put on a sweater and check. I have my old Rowan sweater as an example, like as a model. It has quite wide sleeves, but they are not too wide. So when I measure something, I make sure the sleeves are not wider. They can be a bit narrower, but never wider. I'm doing it now, you can't see. And you know what? It's this much wider. So it means I will have to unravel approximately up to here, and we'll start making increases on the sleeves every 3rd or 4th round. I will have to do a bit of calculation. I'm not unraveling this because I want my raglan to go like this, and then like this, kind of. That's a pity. Needles 2.5 and lots of work. But on the other hand, it's not the first time when I'm ripping back, because I'm not using any patterns. So that's the process. That is the process of creating. Sometimes you get it done in the first attempt, and sometimes you have to redo 1, 2, 3, sometimes 5 times. And I'm not going to start anything new until I finish this body. That will make me motivated and work on it, and not to start any projects. Well, I want to start, but this is my priority and I have to fix it. Another thing I want to share with you is the ballet that I went to. And I have some footage and you may see it here, or maybe I will include after. But when the war started in Ukraine, I decided to support Ukraine in 2 ways. First is to support the artists from Ukraine, because I think this category of people is the most vulnerable one, because when war starts, no one thinks about concerts, ballet, art, visiting museums or art galleries and things like that. So when we have some dancers or performers coming here to Norway, to my part of Norway, and I live in the south of Norway. So we go, it may be in another town. Another thing that I do, I try to buy the patterns from Ukrainian designers. And sometimes I'm not planning to knit that at the moment, or maybe I will never knit. But as a means of support, I would buy it, and I will be very happy that I'm helping someone. I know that some Ukrainian YouTubers are watching me, so if you know any good designers, knitwear designers from Ukraine that you can recommend me, I will definitely buy some of their designs, and I will talk about them and include the links to their patterns and to their designs and to them. So especially if they have the pattern in English, so other viewers could also other people could also purchase and support in this way. And another way how we as a family supporting Ukraine is sending money, because it may sound paradoxical, but that's the fastest way to stop the war. To make sure they have enough guns, enough radars, enough drones, and we either send it directly to Ukraine through QR codes, or we have many support going in Lithuania that they buy cars, buy different things they need, anti-drone guns and so on, or Bayraktars, and we send the money there. We have a certain sum of money per month and we always send it. And I think it's important to talk about it, and a year has passed, it's a lot, and people may get tired a bit of it. But we can't forget, we can't be tired. That plague can come to any of the countries sooner or later. So please support if you can. So, and here is the footage of the ballet. It was classical, Ukrainian classical ballet group. And we were sitting in the first row, and we could see everything. Every muscle move, every eyelash move, all the makeup men were wearing, all the decorations on the tutus and clothes, and it was so nice. It was so nice. So that charged me with lots of positivity and energy. And another thing I want to talk is what I bought. When I was filming in one of the shops, I didn't find anything there to buy, and I'm not looking for things to buy anymore. I have such a big stash. I imagine we all say the same. But this is Sanna's Garn Kus, and it means coziness. And they were selling out 3 colors. One shop had orange one, and another had like foggy blue and foggy ash rose. And if you can see the cross, it means the factory, the company is getting rid of this colorway and they will replace it with some new colors. I didn't want to have a sweater like this, though that's one of my favorite colors, and I have too many sweaters like this, and I have too much yarn of this. And blue is not my color. This type of blue, yeah. This type of blue, I don't know if I will wear it. But what I thought, that I can make color work. They have another color, like cocoa. Photo is here. However, it wasn't on sale, but I thought that I can buy these colors and wait till it's on sale, or well, I think it's the basic color, so it may never get on sale. So then I will buy the balls I need. One ball originally costs 10 euros and now it was 50% off, so it cost only 5 euros. So I bought 2 of each. I think that's enough just to have 2 for the color work. And I wanted the color work to be 1 by 1, you know, like lines going. For example, this cocoa and ash rose. And then you just knit 2 rounds in this cocoa, and then you start knitting 1 by 1 lines with blue. And I would have like 3 or 4 sets of these, maybe 3. And then I would finish everything in cocoa. So I bought that. And now I want to talk about planning. When I see some knitting YouTubers talking about plans for 2023, I have no idea how they plan. I can't stick to my plans longer than a week or 2 because I see something new. I come up with new ideas. And I have something in my plan queue sitting for 4 or 5 years, and I haven't done it yet, but I want to, because new things drop in. For example, in December, the drawing sweater from a Japanese designer, I don't remember the name, but I was talking about it. Here's the photo. It was my dream. I wanted to knit it. I bought the pattern. Now, I'm not so keen on it because I saw something else. I remembered something else, and now I want to knit that. So, what I saw on Instagram, I came across a lady. I wasn't following her, but she just popped up. And she was wearing this sweater. And that sweater amazed me. It has one of the ugliest patterns for me. We call it little bricks. In English it is honeycomb. And for me, this pattern was always on my never ever shelf. I find it very childish. It usually has bright colors in between, not white. And it's some kind of misunderstanding for me. I know that Steven West uses it, and in his patterns, because of all the colors and things he does, it's kind of okay, but it's not my cup of tea. I don't like it. And here, when I saw it, my jaw just dropped. It was so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's put to a new level of aesthetics and minimalism. I was admiring it. And then I said, why can't I knit it? You can see that it's 2 bricks is one pattern repeat, and 1 brick stays small, and the other brick is expanding symmetrically. Right, you can see that 1 brick stays small, and that's the other brick that is expanding. So what I did, I draw the chart for myself, and it's round yoke. There's nothing complicated, and I do have white and gray. So after finishing the white raglan line sweater, maybe I'll start knitting this, because I want to try this out. Another sweater I'm thinking about is ranunculus, but knitted like this. What I like about it is the 2 color combinations, and it gives very subtle look. I went through my yarn stash. I don't want to buy anything. And for this sandy color, I found 1 ball of alpaca silk. And I think if I add with this, I think this is knitting for olive. I may get this sandy, light sandy color. I don't know if it's enough, but I don't have more. And for the pink part, I have leftovers Eco Puno. In fact, those leftovers are enough for a sweater. And I have Rauma Plum. It's a bit lighter color. I love this. And if it's not enough, I may somehow incorporate Filcolana Tilia. It's a bit lighter, but I hope 2 balls are enough. I may have it with short sleeves. The only thing I'm planning to change are the patterns at the top and at the bottom. I really like the lacy flower pattern made out of 4 holes, so I will leave this, but I think I will change the top and the bottom elements. They are a bit, I want something more complicated. And that's it. I'm not starting this. I'm not starting the small prick sweater until I finish the body for this one. And it's a lot of work. And I don't know what to do, to knit fingerless mittens or not. And tell me, how do you stick to your plans? I find it very difficult to stick, and I would feel very unhappy if I had to stick. There's no flexibility, then there's no place for new ideas to come. And if the idea comes and has to go all the way to the back of the queue, oi, you may stop liking it when it comes closer to the front. How do you do this? Maybe you have some good tips I could follow. That was all I had to tell you today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, thumbs up. Let's build our knitting community here, and hope to see you soon. Bye.